Viewers, you're welcome to the Flight Deck TV show, where every flight tells a story. Coming to you from the plush head office premises of one of Ghana's thriving domestic aviation businesses. The mastermind behind this aviation business success story is an astute business executive who really needs no introduction. He is described online as an entrepreneur, philanthropist, art collector, politician, and a member of the National Democratic Congress. Born in Kumasi, raised in Winneba and Takoradi. He's an old student of the school. I'm talking about Infant Pim School. He proceeded to Germany, graduating from the University of Bremen with a master's in mechanical engineering. He worked briefly with Bremer Vulcan, a shipbuilding company in Germany, simultaneously running an import and export business between Germany and Ghana, a boutique, and a nightclub. He relocated to Ghana in 1997 to establish Masai Developers, then Masai Motors dealers in Seat vehicles, and IBM computers. At age 72, he founded what is to become a household name in domestic air travel. With a passion for excellence, innovation, hard work, customer satisfaction, he's taking Ghana's aviation landscape by storm. Viewers, it's my pleasure to welcome to the flight deck he who needs no introduction, Mr. Edward Annan. Uncle Eddie, you're welcome to the Flight Deck TV show.
At long last.
Finally.
Finally.
It's not been easy getting you. Uncle Eddie, well, first of all, you grew up in, I noticed that you speak fluent Ga. You grew up in Winneba, Takoradi. How so?
Well, my friends in secondary school, which of course you said it right, the school.
The school,
that's correct. That's the only school.
The only school, right?
The only school, yes. You don't need to say anything else. If you say the school, everybody knows.
Everybody knows. Okay.
Some of them were speaking between us English and Fanti. But they had other friends that they communicated in Ga. So when the three of us met, the three different teams, they were speaking in Ga, and I was sitting there practically not understanding what they were talking about. So I was forced to learn Ga. You see, so that's how I learned Ga. My old friends, the Newmans, were speaking, two Newmans. One, Kojo, was speaking Fanti, and Martin Newman was speaking Fanti to me, but Ga to Chachuchikata, Fuichikata, Nidakon.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm with them, then...
they're your mates?
They're all my mates. They all went to the school. And you see what they've done to the country.
All right. So why did you end up in Germany instead of UK or US? How come?
Okay, that was very... that's an easy question. My brother was then, my senior brother, at the time was the...
What's the name?
Enoch.
Okay.
Enoch was... Yes, Enoch... No. Enoch Emmanuel Asafwaji.
Okay.
That was my mother's first marriage.
Okay.
So he was the honorary consul of Ghana in Hamburg, and also the head of Ghana Black Star Line at the time.
Okay.
So when I finished secondary school, in fact, before I even finished secondary school, he said to me that I'll go to Germany to study. And also because I was going to do engineering, it was quite interesting to study in Germany, because we all knew at the time that engineering in Germany is one of the best.
Top notch.
Exactly.
Top notch. Okay. Are there any siblings apart from Enoch?
Yes. Enoch was number one. I'm number two. And Elena, the only daughter with my mother, is number three. And then another one, Jonathan Victor. So we're four of us.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So studying engineering, what was your dream career? What did you aspire to become?
Well, when I was studying engineering, I was aspiring to become an engineer, but that wasn't the focus. I I knew from day one that I wasn't going to work as an engineer, although I did for about 4 years.
Okay.
My dream was to be an entrepreneur,
Okay.
to be financially independent, and run for president of the country.
Okay.
That during the period of presidency, I won't be influenced by any form of money. I have my own, and that was my actual dream. However, I needed an insurance. So the insurance was to become an engineer because it was easier for me to do science subjects than the other subjects. So at least if anything fails, I can fall back on.
Okay, so that entrepreneurial part of you. And the name Masai, you founded that in 1977. What was the reasoning behind the name Masai?
Okay, when I was living in Germany, by the way, I got married when I was in Germany.
Okay.
And that time, I was running a boutique and a discotheque, and I was doing an import and export business there. Okay. It's a long story. But I needed, especially for the boutique, I needed a name that was easy for the Germans to pronounce. Okay. And also linked to Africa one way or the other, without saying Boutique Ghana or Boutique Africa. Okay. A friend of my wife at the time, actually not at the time, she's still my wife, but I don't like calling her my wife. I rather call her Avis. Her first name is Avis. Avis had friends who were on vacation in Kenya. They sent us a pack of parks.
A pack of what?
Pack. Okay. Pack of cards.
Okay,
playing cards. And one of the cards had Masai written at the back of it. Another had Zulu. And there was a third one, which I've forgotten. So I decided to write those names out and let all my visitors for about a month period pronounce the name. Almost all of my friends were able to pronounce Masai properly and linked it to Africa, one way or the other. So I thought it was easier to then use the name Masai as a company name. So I had Boutique Masai.
Masai folded up, correct?
When you say Masai, you mean Masai Developers Limited, Masai Motors, Masai
yes.
Computers,
exactly.
Masai A, B, C, D, Masai ZWQ.
I don't see Masai around. What happened?
Very simple. The then President of the Republic, His Excellency Ajekum Kufuor, made it clear that I shouldn't operate in Ghana. So basically, stopped all the operations I was doing in Ghana. He said I was a member of the NDC, and it's money that brings a person to power. And he was told that I was one of the financiers of NDC, if not the biggest financier. That's what he said, which is not true anyway. I don't know how one person can be the biggest financier of a party, but that's what he said. And for that reason, he said I shouldn't make a pesewa in Ghana. And then he made sure that all my businesses collapsed.
Whoa.
And it even went to extent that the private companies were dealing with, because of their dealings with the government, they were told if they dealt with Masai, the government wouldn't deal with them. So even the private businesses stopped dealing with us.
Wow, that's interesting.
That was the fall of Masai.
So did you relocate or you just folded up?
Well, no, some of the business I was doing in Europe and America anyway, so that continued. But the ones that based in Ghana, I had to stop because you couldn't operate without government practically being sympathetic to your operations. And
Okay.
the sad part of it was that I went through 4 different investigation committees. 4.
Wow.
BNI, Shraj, SFO, and a 2-member team set up in his office, Office of the President, in the name of late Dr. Amakutufo and Dr. Osewusu. No, is it Osewusu? I think so. And all the investigations said I had not done anything wrong. I was running a genuine business, making money, of course. But he was under the impression my money was being funding NDC, especially the Rawlinses, to quote him. So he made sure that Masai never existed. So that's the whole truth. And I'm hoping he'll be watching this program so he can remember what he did.
That's unfortunate, but
Very unfortunate.
all right, viewers, we're going to go on a short commercial break to acknowledge our sponsors. This discourse promises to be exciting. We'll be right back. Please stay, don't go away.
We are celebrating 7 years of passion in the skies. From our first takeoff in Accra to the heartlands of Kumasi, Tamale, Takoradi, Wa, and Sunyani, PassionAir has proudly connected Ghana for 7 incredible years. You know that's right. And through every challenge and every milestone, we have remained steadfast and committed to delivering smooth and reliable air travel to you, our passengers. As we mark this remarkable milestone, we say thank you for flying with us, believing in us, and growing with us. This celebration is not just ours, it is yours too. We have weathered storms, soared above the clouds, and kept our sight high because your comfort and satisfaction have always been at the heart of our mission. Here is to 7 years of excellence and to many more journeys together. PassionAir, connecting Ghana, one city at a time.
This show is sponsored by
Viewers, you're welcome back to the Flight Deck TV show where every flight tells a story. Coming to you from the head office of PassionAir, connecting Ghana one city at a time. In the Flight Deck is Mr. Eddie Annan, founder and accountable manager, PassionAir. You were a frequent flyer on Ghana Airways, then Ghana International Airlines. You never dropped a hint of founding an airline. Where from the motivation?
Okay, it wasn't, if you say motivation, okay, let me put this. I'll tell you how PassionAir came into being. It wasn't something that I dreamt of doing. Give an entrepreneur a lemon and he makes a lemonade out of it. So I was looking for a project that I could get involved in. And there was an advert from one of the domestic oil and gas companies looking for a charter aircraft. So basically, you give them a dedicated aircraft to fly them from Accra to Takoradi 4 times a week, Monday to Friday. And of course, any other time that they needed the aircraft. But basically, that was the main part of the contract. Unfortunately, I had to get a partner in the industry because I had not been in the industry at the time. Okay. And the partner that I had at the time did the tender, prepared the tender documents. So I didn't have an input in the tender documents. But in the tender documents, apparently, we were supposed to give a backup aircraft to the one that they had, so that if anything happened to their own aircraft, chartered one, they could follow on the backup one. How do you get a backup aircraft? It didn't make sense having a second aircraft sitting there and only when you need it that you use it. So we went to 2 companies, one in Ghana and one in Nigeria, who had that type of aircraft that would satisfy the client. Now, the quotation they gave us didn't make business sense. One in Nigeria wanted $140,000 a month retention, and any time that they are flying for you, it's $4,000 an hour, starting from Lagos. The one was in Ghana, wanted $60,000 a month retention and $10,000 flying Accra, Takoradi, Accra each time. It didn't make any business sense. Around the same period, one of the domestic airlines went bust, went off the radar. So it was only one domestic airline working. So as an entrepreneur, I saw an opportunity. Yeah, so we did a little bit of work and realized that, well, one could fill the gap and then use PassionAir as the backup aircraft company for the client. Okay. Yeah? Okay. So that brought us up. That brought the reason for starting.
So what's the reasoning behind the name PassionAir?
Oh, wow. TK. Okay. My residence was designed by a Ghanaian, fantastic architect and designer. And the shape of the house is a form of a butterfly, two leaves of a butterfly.
The two wings.
Two wings of a butterfly. Now, the first company that took the contract to build the house was an Italian company. In between messed up, so I sent them off. Then Portuguese company came in between, also didn't do well, and I sent them off too. Then I had a Ghanaian company, small company, to complete. They messed up too. But anytime I sent them off, they left the workers, because apparently the workers were hired for a particular project. So if the project is not ongoing, then they had no job there. So I decided I'll finish the house myself by using those workers. That's correct. So I used them and finished the house. And I thought I'd put in too much passion. So instead of butterfly, I changed it to passion. Okay. So my house is called Passion.
Passion. But that informed the name of it.
Okay, not directly, but indirectly. When we decided to have the airline, we needed a name for the airline. So I had about 3-4 names, probably even more. I wanted something that was easy also to pronounce and something in relation to Ghana. So I took some of the Adinkra names, Vault Air, Passion Air. But Passion was number one, just because I was used to the word passion from the house. But I didn't think PassionAir was a good name for the airline. And one of the captains, so I gathered my managers and said, listen, we need a name for the airline. These are the ones that I've thought of, but probably you guys have better names than that. So let's deliberate over it and brainstorm and find one. And one of the captains said, Mr. Annan, what do you think keeps us up in the air? It's passion. So why don't we just stop looking for a name and stick to the PassionAir?
Not far from the truth, yeah.
Exactly. So that's how the PassionAir came up.
Awesome. And it's resonated with the traveling public, I think. Yeah, it's now more like a household name. Yes. I mean, when you mention passion, everybody knows what it is.
Yes. But that's the certain. It's not passion. It's PassionAir.
PassionAir.
Yes. But at the time, our sales and marketing manager, who's now our corporate affairs manager, said to us, Mr. Annan, after one month, the name won't be PassionAir, it will be Passion. I said, why? He says, but it's easy to say passion than to say PassionAir. It didn't take 1 week.
Of course.
And the PassionAir got lost, and it was Passion. But I'd make it a point that I correct anybody who says Passion instead of PassionAir.
How many aircrafts did PassionAir start with? And how many do you have now?
We started with 3-8-300 Q400s. 3 of them. We have a total of 5 now, but 2 400s and 3 300s. The 300s are the 50-seater, and the 400s are the 78-seater.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see. See, I've done a few trips to Kumasi, Takoradi, and I realized that the flight time, jet engine, propeller, they're nearly the same. And I noticed PassionAir operates turboprops. That's propeller aircraft.
That's correct, yeah.
What's the reasoning? Is there any advantage?
Yes, there are a few advantages. First, the operation cost of a propeller aircraft is lower than the jet aircraft. That's one. 2, yes, it makes a little bit of noise. But, the robustness of the aircraft gives relieves the safety concerns of some of the passengers, Yeah, but basically it's less to operate the...
Oh, I've done Kumasi about 3 occasions and Takoradi twice. I didn't feel the noise.
Well, okay.
Or compared to...
compared to the jets, yes, there's a little bit of noise. The Kumasi one, most times we use the Q400. The Q is for quiet. So you don't have as much noise as you use the 300. The 300, especially when you're on row 3 and 4, you are near the propeller. Exactly. So it's a little bit noisier. But we give them earplugs to help with that. So you are paying less, safer, and you have the earplugs too.
So what's that memorable, fun part of starting PassionAir, which promises to stay with you for a very long time?
I think it's the staff. You know, you met a lot of new people that you've never met in your life. And together we were determined to build a family, which has actually come into being. We started with 20 people with the charter. Then it went to 80, 300 at the time that the COVID was there. And now we are a little over 600 staff. You know, so having that kind of family, it pushes you every day to continue to strive, even though things were very rocky during the beginning and also during the COVID period. But it's settled now. So now we are quite in a
cruising altitude, right?
Cruising altitude or comfortable situation.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, the Flight Deck TV show salutes the PassionAir family. I'm going to ask you the processes for registering an airline for the benefit of viewers, those dreaming of establishing an airline. But we're going to go on a short commercial break to acknowledge our sponsors. Please stay with us. Don't go. We'll be right back.
We are celebrating 7 years of passion in the skies. From our first takeoff in Accra to the heartlands of Kumasi, Tamale, Takoradi, Wa, and Sunyani, PassionAir has proudly connected Ghana for 7 incredible years. You know that's right. And through every challenge and every milestone, we have remained steadfast and committed to delivering smooth and reliable air travel to you, our passengers. As we mark this remarkable milestone, we say thank you for flying with us, believing in us, and growing with us. This celebration is not just ours, it is yours too. We have weathered storms, soared above the clouds, and kept our sight high because your comfort and satisfaction have always been at the heart of our mission. Here is to 7 years of excellence and to many more journeys together. PassionAir, connecting Ghana, one city at a time.
This show is sponsored by
Viewers, you're welcome back to the Flight Deck TV show, where every flight tells a story. Coming to you from the head office of PassionAir. In the Flight Deck today is Mr. Eddie Annan, founder and accountable manager for PassionAir. Mr. Annan, before we went on our break, I asked that you walk us through the process of registering and operationalizing an airline for the benefit of those dreaming of establishing an airline.
Oh, you've got to have a business plan. You've got to have a business plan with a good cash flow to do that. But all that is theory. When you enter into the operation, you will then have to look at the parameters and work towards it. But as you said, about 6, even the president added another company to it. So about 7 domestic airlines went bust. Yeah, started operating and failed in between. No businessman starts a business and wish to fail or want to fail. So one needs to sit down and look at what made them fail. I don't believe it's just management issues. Might have 1 or 2 management issues, even that probably 10-20% of the reason of failing. But as a nation, we have to look at what the cost involved in running an airline. Our current president, who happens to be my friend, I should say it because otherwise people will say that I'm praising him for praising's sake. But he's doing a fantastic good job, and I'm happy that a friend is doing that for the nation. When we started operating, the interest rate was about 41%. The duties on spare parts, 40%. Where's of it when you have AOC, aircraft on ground?
When you say interest rate?
Interest rate, borrowing from the bank. Borrowing rate from the bank. I couldn't, and it didn't make business sense to bring up all the monies required for to start up the business. So I had a little bit of money from my bankers. And the interest rate at the time was 41%. It went down 38, 33%, 24%, 21%. Now we are at 19%. In fact, last week, our bankers gave us a rate of 18.6%.
Wow.
And that, I must salute our president for doing that. It's his economic program and agenda that has brought that from 41%, or when he took over, it was probably about 38%, to 18.6%. That helped. Exactly. The last time we had a discussion, he's still working on other areas to help cut down the cost of running the airline. And of course, when that happens, the fares will also come down drastically. But all these are issues that one has got to look at before you can make a comment of competition will bring the fare down. Competition alone don't bring the fare down. A lot of areas that you've got to look at to bring the fares down.
We're just about signing off. I'd like to have your closing remarks. Viewers are listening. Your closing remarks. It's been nice having you, but your closing remarks before I sign off.
Okay. Now, TK, you had a chat with me before you started this program. And I recommend you to have done a good job, because you see, the little I've been listening or watching on the program is teaching people how safe it is to fly, to be an aircraft. The fear that the people have before they get on the flight, you've been able to get the fear out of them. And also you're talking of expensive and not expensive and all that. When they put the analysis together, they realize that it's better to fly, because time is money, than not to fly. So I'll just encourage you to continue with that. And very soon, it will be added to the aviation hub that we are looking to have in Ghana.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Mr. Annan, it's been nice and exciting having you on this show. We acknowledge your support and magnanimously agreeing to be our headline sponsor. We cannot thank you enough, and we look forward to hosting you on future episodes. That will not be too long. We'll come knocking on your doors again for future episodes. On behalf of the Flight Deck TV show, we thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show.
Thank you for inviting me to be on the show. Yeah?
We'll see you again.
Thank you very much.
Viewers,
take care.
Let's call it a day.
Right?
Thank you. Good night.